Okay, well firstly, what does Barack Obama's election victory mean?
Well, Barack Obama has won a sweeping victory in this election. There's been a huge turnout of voters, particularly young voters, African American voters and Latino and other minorities. There's been a huge rise in participation, and as a result Barack Obama has won states that are normally held by Republicans or have been held by Republicans over many years. Also, the Democrats have strengthened their majority in the Congress, particularly in the House of Representatives, but they've also now got a clear majority in the Senate.
Was racism a factor?
Racism was thought to be a factor, but it seems that it was counteracted. It was completely outweighed by fears about the economic crisis, the banking collapse, the downturn in the economy, the loss of jobs, and the fact that, by contrast with Obama, McCain seemed to have no solutions for the economic policies.
Will Obama really change things in the US?
Change something in the sense that it's the first black American president. He's from a younger generation, so that's a break with the older generation of political leaders. And he's certainly promised change. The main emphasis of his campaign has been change and transformation, but he's actually been very vague and lacking in details on what those policies will mean. And I think he's raised enormous expectations that he simply will not be able to fulfill because of the crisis in American capitalism and the fact that, as far as the government is concerned, the cupboard is bare, and it's going to be very, very difficult for him to deliver on promises like improved healthcare, of creation of jobs, of ending discrimination against minorities, and so on.
And will Obama change US foreign policy?
Well, I think US foreign policy has already changed somewhat under Bush because of the complete catastrophe of the Iraq War and the fact that the US, together with British imperialism, is also bogged down in Afghanistan. They've been forced to retreat somewhat from their military interventionist policy that was initiated by Bush when he became president. But Barack Obama has said that he will withdraw US troops from Iraq, although it's planned to be over 16 months, which is quite a long period, and the situation in Iraq is still very unstable. But he said that he's going to escalate the US intervention in Afghanistan, and as we can see in the last few weeks, the position there is far worse. The conflict is escalated. Pakistan is perhaps on the verge of a collapse, and the US imperialism and British forces are losing ground in Afghanistan at the present.
And can Obama deliver on his promises?
Well, it will be extremely difficult for him. I mean, the US government under Bush has already spent probably $1 trillion on bailing out the banks, and the budget deficit is likely to go up to the annual deficit is likely to go up to over $1 trillion next year. So when Barack Obama is promised tax reductions for the majority of the lower paid sections of US workers, and he's also said that there will be increases for the super wealthy who benefited under Bush, but there's going to be very, very little in the way of state finance available for the kind of reforms that he's promised. And as far as the economic recession is concerned, it's quite likely that he will support a new stimulus package. But as we know from similar packages in Japan and even the New Deal itself in the 1930s in the US, they don't necessarily automatically revive the economy, and you can have an increase in unemployment and a downturn in wages, whatever Obama promises that he will do now.
What do you think the prospects for real change are in the US?
Well, I think there's going to be massive disillusionment with Barack Obama as president. It seems cruel to tread on people's dreams and illusions in the next period, but he simply will not be able to deliver on the massive promises of change and transformation that he's raised during his election campaign. And I think there are many who have voted for Obama They're pleased that McCain and the Republicans have been defeated, but they're not expecting miracles, and they're looking forward to more profound changes in US politics. And the biggest change that's required is for the formation of a new party that will be completely separate from the big business Democratic Party, which is tied to big business, just as the Republicans are, and to form a new party that would actually speak for the working class in America. Now, during the election campaign, Obama has been accused of being a redistributionist and even a socialist, and on one or two occasions he's been accused of being a Marxist, which is quite absurd. But nevertheless, the complete shattering of confidence in capitalism and questioning of the viability of the capitalist system in the heartland of world capitalism will lead to much more interest in socialism, and we're going to see movements of workers, of young people, of community organisations in the next period. They will be fighting to defend their interests, but they will begin to look towards the ideas of socialism as a way forward in the future.